What's up, guys? My name is Alex, and my team and I have generated over £48,000 in less than 30 days for our clients inside of the HVAC industry. So I spoke with my team and we decided to create this ultimate blueprint slash guide where we sort of take you through every single one of the steps that you need to effectively master if you want to scale your HVAC business. And so inside of here is everything you need to know to attract premium contracts, close every single deal, upsell like a pro, and how to build a reliable client acquisition system that will attract clients for you on autopilot. So let's go on to the first step. So attracting high value clients. This comes in three different sort of phases. The first phase is you need to start rejecting price shoppers. If you're sitting there and you're allowing everybody who comes to negotiate their way down with prices, you are never going to win. So the first step is very, very simple. You need to reject those bastards into eternity. You cannot have people coming to you and telling you, I can get it for cheaper from somewhere else. Just wish them good luck, say goodbye. That's number one. You just have to be rejecting price shoppers. You cannot accept people who come to you and say, hey, I can get it for cheaper from someone else. You better drop your price, otherwise I'm going to them. Just go, hey, alright, listen, it's fine. You can go. If you change your mind, come back. Second phase is to position your HVAC business as the premium HVAC business inside of your area. So effectively, you're positioning yourself as the Laura Piana of HVAC in your area. And the way you do this is it's very simple. It's a bit more complicated than the last step. Here, you need to be found everywhere. People, within the first 5 minutes of people opening their eyes in the morning and waking up, they are on their phones and they're scrolling and they're searching and they're looking for things. They're trying to solve their problems already. People are in bed scrolling. It takes an hour before they get up because they're just scrolling. They're addicted to their phones. Okay, maybe that's not where humanity should be, but it is where it is. And you need to take advantage of that. And the way you're going to do that is by being found everywhere that your ideal clients will go to search for you. So that could be running Google ads, Meta ads, it could just be posting organic content, it could just be SEO, any of it. But you need to make sure that whenever people are searching for you, you are showing up. Otherwise, your competitors will be showing up. And the third step is to look professional. Now, I don't want you to freak out and have a mental seizure about this. Looking professional does not mean you have to go out and hire a full-on marketing team with several copywriters, video editors, and graphic designers and spend hundreds of thousands a month on your marketing department, because that's really not cost effective. You do not need to do this. Instead, all you really need to do is just dedicate an hour a week to creating some sort of content. If you create some sort of content, then you can channel that content to other platforms. For example, we write an article every single week, and we then take that article and we repurpose it into an X post. So we take it from article form and we make it shorter into a digestible piece of content, and we turn it into an X post, formerly known as Twitter. Then from that, we copy and paste it straight onto LinkedIn, and then from LinkedIn onto Facebook. And then we turn it into a shorter form piece of content where it's just 3-4 lines. That's the whole process behind it. And of course, after that, we'll turn it into a YouTube video. And after that, we'll turn it into an Instagram reel, which will then also post onto X and onto Facebook and onto LinkedIn. It's a complete conveyor belt, and you basically use every single part of the cow. That's the best metaphor that I can come up for it with. So make sure that you get these 3 points just knuckled down. You need to make sure that you're doing all of these points. You need to A, reject price shoppers. B, position your HVAC business as the Laura Piana of HVAC in your area. And then 3, be found everywhere. So, on to the next point. How do you turn one-time jobs into recurring revenue? There are, again, 3 different parts that play into this. The first part is, upselling. You need to focus on your old clients, because I heard from somewhere apparently that it's 9 times easier to upsell your old clients rather than going to find new clients. I don't know who came up with that number. I don't know if it's true, but I do know that it is much, much easier to get a yes from someone who's already said yes. If you've already sold something to someone, let's say I sell you a pen. You really needed a pen and you bought a pen from me. And you love this pen. It gave you magical superpowers. If I offered you another pencil sharpener or a pencil or a whiteboard pen, you would think back and you'd remember, the last pen this guy sold me was really good. Maybe I should take him up on this offer. Who knows what sort of magical experiences I'm going to have. That's what they're going to think. So you need to come across and you need to genuinely deliver value. That's all it really is. You need to deliver the value. And how are you going to do upselling? Well, there are loads and loads and loads of different ways that you can do it. One of the ways is retargeting ads. And again, before you have another seizure, let me give you an example. I put up an ad and it talks about air conditioning. We do the best air conditioning on the planet. It cools your office down in 30 minutes. You should buy our air conditioning. Now, John, who's interested in air conditioning, watches the ad to the end. John watches the ad to the end, and that tells the algorithm, hey, John is interested in this ad. So the second I decide to turn on the retargeting function, that ad will be shown to John immediately. And that's what retargeting does. It takes information, the information being this person was interested in the ad, and then it allows you to target those people. So that means two things. That number one means your customer acquisition cost is much, much lower, which is great. It's costing less money for you to acquire a customer. And the second part is you get a higher CR, a conversion rate. And again, that's great. It's great because you're getting more clients, you're getting more business. Now, moving on to the next point is probably the part that I've seen most commercial HVAC businesses suffer the most, which is they struggle with closing a deal. Closing a deal is very much hardwired to be difficult for us. Humans are naturally terrible salespeople, and it's because our brain is basically split in two parts. You got the neocortex and you got the old part of the brain, which is the croc brain. Now, I'm not going to get into detail about that. This is just some background knowledge that might come in handy for you later when you understand how bad humans naturally are at selling. So there are three different parts of actually closing the deal, getting a yes from them. The first part is controlling the frame. And you control the frame by attaining something called the local star power. Now, you're probably sitting there thinking, what is a frame? What is local star power? Has this guy just sniffed the line? What is he talking about? He must be coming up with this on the spot. I'm telling you, I'm not. This is probably one of the main reasons that we managed to close £48,000 worth of business for our clients within 30 days of starting with them. And obviously that number is much higher now, but this is one of the main reasons. And so frame is basically the perspective you look at things through. You can have, for example, analysts and accountants, they have something called an analyst frame. So they look at everything through an analytical mind. They see things and they're all numbers based, they're all cold and figures and all of that stuff. That's the analytical frame. So you need to understand what frames are, and you need to attain local star power by controlling the frame. What is local star power? Local star power is very simple. It's bringing the conversation into your domain of expertise. If a golfer and a doctor meet and they both go to the golf course, outside of the golf course, the doctor has much higher status than the golfer because the doctor is paid more, he's a lot more popular, and he's a lot more important to other people. A lot more people rely on him for their lives. That's how important a doctor is. But the second they step on the golf course, that all changes. That all changes simply because the golf course is the golfer's domain of expertise. The golfer can now all of a sudden turn around and say, hey, no, you're not doing this right. You need to stand with your hips square. You need to swing back like this. And you need to hit the ball and you need to look that way. Anything that the golfer says goes. And that's because the golfer is the expert in that domain. So now you understand what frames are. Let's talk about the actual pitch. The pitch shouldn't last any longer than 20 minutes. If your pitch lasts longer than 20 minutes, you're doing something wrong. You can encompass everything that you need to cover within 20 minutes. If it's taking longer than that, then you're making a mistake somewhere and you need to cut something out. Within those 20 minutes, you need to basically just show the successes. Most importantly, not any random successes, only your biggest successes, your biggest track records. So let's say you've helped John, but going back to John, you've helped John improve his energy efficiency by 50%, something crazy. But you've helped Sarah improve her energy efficiency by 10%. Do not mention Sarah, because the brain will average all the information and all the successes that you give it. If you say 40 and 10, your brain will not add them up. It will average it. So it's very important that you only show your most successful track records. Then you move on to the frame called why now. You tell them, why is this important to do right now? Then the third part of the pitch is to create hot cognitions. To create hot cognitions is very, very easy. All you really need to do is just create emotions. That's what hot cognitions really means. It's very primal based emotions. So how do you create these emotions? It's really, really simple. All you really do is first of all, you introduce a bit of intrigue. I like to do this in sales pitches, and I tell them, hey, I've got this really cool friend, which once this deal goes ahead, I'll introduce you to my really cool friend. He's really good at this. And I tell them a little story. It creates some intrigue around the person and myself and what we did together. What did you guys do together? What happened? Who is this guy? Why is he so important? Why is he so cool? Why does this guy like him so much? That's what people are going to be thinking. So you create that intrigue. Then secondly, you introduce yourself as the prize. So instead of saying, hey, we'd really love to work with you, you position yourself as the prize and flip the tables on them. This is part of the reason we get clients chasing us rather than us chasing clients. Third part is to apply a time constraint frame. So not very tight where you say, hey, you've got 30 seconds, yes or no. That makes them feel under attack. You don't want to make your target feel under attack. You want to make them feel at ease, but a little bit of pressure. So what I like to do is I like to give people a week, maybe 2 weeks of decision time making. And usually it won't take that long. But the fact that they have a deadline, they know, okay, if I don't get back to him by this time, the prices are going to increase. Or you just won't have time, or you won't be able to open up a slot for me. That's what you need to do by applying a very light time constraint. And then the fourth part is using the moral authority frame. Moral authority frame is where you come across and you're basically saying, hey, I'm not here for the money. The money has to earn me. Why should I work with you? Obviously, don't be as on the nose as that, but something along those lines where you're coming across and you're saying, hey, I'm not here for the money. Explain to me, why should I work with you? Why would I enjoy working with you? Because I need to sell you to my teammates. I need to sell you to my supervisors. I need to do X, Y, Z. Can you give me that? Can you tell me why we would actually enjoy working with you? And then people will go out their way, try to prove themselves to you, start chasing you. Hey, look, no, we're a company, we're big established, we're making a lot of money, we can offer you a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. That's great. That's where you want to be. And the last part, the third part, getting a yes, is just as they expect them to come, you pull away. Just as they expect you to come to them and ask them for money, you pull away and you make them chase you. The biggest mistake I see a lot of HVAC business owners create is that they ask self-validating questions towards the end. So, how does that sound? So, does that sound good? What do you think? Let me know what you think. These are self-validating questions. You're basically asking them to stroke your ego. That's not good. You don't want to make them feel like they need to stroke your ego. Self-validation and neediness is very repulsive to humans. Instead, what you do is you pull away. How do you pull away? You don't pull away in an arsehole type way. You don't pull away in a way that makes them think, well, who are you? No, I'm going to go find someone else. In a very subtle way where you say, so, if this sounds like something you might be interested in, I encourage you to come to the office or give us a call when you think this is when you're ready. But remember, D-Day is Friday or whatever day you decide to lay your time constriction on. And there you go. They're going to get the shock of their lives. They're going to be like, whoa, hold on. These guys don't even need me. People chase what they tend to not be able to have. If they can't have you or it's very difficult to have you, they're going to chase you. That is natural human behavior. And so on to the next point. How do you keep your high value clients? Keeping your clients is, again, it's much, much easier than having to find new clients constantly. A lot of HVAC business owners, they want to go for more. When more is nice, but it's not always the answer. So keeping your high value clients, there are mainly 3 ways. And I like using email newsletters. Email newsletters are, in my opinion, the best way to keep your high value clients. And I'm going to be an asshole and tell you that you're using your email newsletter the wrong way. Your email newsletter should not be an email that comes out every couple months that tells them, hey, we've now got this new service in stock. We can do X, Y, Z. Yes, we're amazing. We've just hired this new person. He's amazing. We are now also located in XYZ area. nobody cares. Really, nobody cares. You want to keep it based on their needs. You need to keep it based on what's in it for them. That is the most important question ringing inside of your customers' minds. What's in it for me? That's what they're asking. Whenever they see anything, what's in it for me? And you need to tell them what's in it for them. So instead of telling them, hey, we've now got this new machine which is really good and it's really cool and it can speak 7 different languages, you tell them, hey, we have now got this new machine which can lower your energy costs by 20%. Now they're listening. The tables are flipped. Once again, you've shown them, hey, I have something that you want. And they're listening with very rapt attention. Another way to do this is by using personalized follow-ups. Now, I don't mean personalized as in you write a message that follows up with someone and then you copy and paste that message over 170 different contacts. That is the wrong way to go about this. Personalized meaning that you come across as a real human being and you treat them as a real human being, not just their piggy bank. You're not there to consistently put your hands in their pockets and take money out. That's not what you're there to do. You're there to create real human connections. Yes, it might be a bit tedious at first, but have fun in this. Have fun in talking to people. Have fun in creating real human-to-human connections, because that is, at the end of the day, what networking and business really is. It's just creating that human-to-human connection where you come across and you're becoming a likable person and you're learning more. Have fun in it. It really is that easy. It's just to have fun with it. And again, you can do that inside of an email newsletter. But the biggest reason I like email newsletters is because whatever you write now, whatever you post now, or you've sent to your email newsletter now, it can be making you money in 6 years from now, in 12 years. It could be making money for you in 2 months from now. It could be making you money tonight. Because everything you write, if you create an automated newsletter, the second somebody joins your system, they could join in 6 years from now and they get the message that you write today in 6 years. They will see that message, and for them, it's like you've just written it and you've just sent it to them. They're going to come, if they like what you're saying, they're going to opt in, they're going to schedule their free consultation, whatever you're offering. But that is the biggest plus side of newsletters. You can automate everything, every little thing. That's it for newsletters. So now let's move on to the 5-step action plan that you can use to land jobs on demand. The first step is to start Chad shipping away. So, like we said earlier, you need to dedicate at least an hour a week to writing some sort of blog post or social media content or recording a YouTube video or something. You need to do something, anything. You don't have to go out and hire a fully fledged marketing team with several video graphic designers and photoshoppers and photographers and all of that good stuff. Yes, if you have that, wonderful. It's great. And if you can spend more than 1 hour a week creating content, even better. But you do not need to. That is the most important thing. You do not need to spend more than an hour a week to create content. I think we spend around 3 hours a week creating raw content. Not even that, probably 2 hours a week creating raw content. 2 hours a week gets turned into days worth of content because we use every single part of the cow. We repurpose everything. So first things first, start Chad shipping away. Get content out there. You need to be seen. If you're not being seen, then your competitors are being seen. The second part is to build your funnel. Now, what is a funnel? It's the stages that your audience will go through from discovery to putting money in your bank. So you need to think about this very carefully. Don't spend forever on this, but think about it carefully. Okay, so step 1. Where do your customers find you? Do they find you on social media? Do they find you on Google? Do they find you by walking into your factory? Do they find you by searching for something up on Google and then they come across your across your blog post? Is that how they find you? Or do they find you with do you send physical mail? Do you run paid ads? What is it? You need to find out, how are people finding me? And then find the end journey. Then basically wiring the money through, money's in your bank account. What are the steps in between that? This is really important because it's going to help you optimize each step for customer experience, to make it seamless, as easy as possible for the customer to move through the funnel and to make it as short as possible. The shorter a funnel is, the easier it is for them to get through the funnel, the more money you're going to be making. That is guaranteed. And the third part is the upselling stuff. So, you need to create an upselling framework And if you use everything that we discussed inside of this free guide, you're going to be making a lot of money with upselling. You're going to upsell almost every job, because you're going to give your upselling framework to your field techs who are constantly out there doing following up on maintenance agreements. They're finishing up a job. The second they finish up a job, or they're visiting a client for maintenance checkups or compliance standards, your field tech needs to just dish this out. Just dish it out randomly. Don't make it so on the nose that you're trying to take money from them. Again, nobody likes being sold to, but everybody loves buying. So you need to create this upselling framework and just give it to your field techs. Tell them, be careful with it. Don't be retarded, but use it. Just dish it out when you think the time is right. And unless your field techs are completely and utterly retarded, they will know when the time is right. It's not very difficult. It's just about having that framework that they can dish out at any given moment. The fourth part is to close deals. Getting those yeses every single time you pitch your HVAC services. So, if you implement everything that we spoke about earlier, about setting the stage, going through your track record, creating those frames, controlling the frames, bringing the conversation into your domain of expertise, then being specific about what you're going to give them, how you're going to give it to them, how they're going to get it, everything. And then towards the end, within those 20 minutes, just towards the end of those 20 minutes, you tell them, all right, we encourage you to give us a call when you think you're ready. You pull away, you are going to start closing deals. This is guaranteed. And then the last but not least part, you need to follow up. You need to stay in front of your leads and your clients as often as possible. That means you start an email newsletter, you start retargeting ads. That could be on Facebook, on Instagram, it could be, Messenger, it could be on YouTube, TikTok, it could be on Google, Yahoo, anything. You need to stay in front of your target audience as often as possible, because I cannot emphasize this enough. If they are not finding you, they are finding your competitors. They are going to find someone, somewhere, somehow. They will find a way. And if it's not you they're finding your competitors. And that is the exact wrong thing to do. So that is a 5-step action plan that you need to implement if you want to start building your business and scaling it to infinity. When I say infinity, I really do mean infinity. So now you know everything. You know how to attract those high value clients. You know how to do everything on autopilot, and how to keep your clients, how to set up the newsletter. So what do you do from now? It's all good and well knowing all of this. It's very nice, but if it just stays inside of your brain, then it's no good use, is it? It's just inside of your head, in between your ears, and it's just lingering there. It's not coming into reality. It's not doing anything. So if you use this 5-step action plan, you will scale. So if you want us to personally get in touch with you and have a chat, and if you want me to give you my advice on what I would do inside of your shoes, me personally, to scale your HVAC business, then make sure you get in touch with us by clicking on this link here. We are so confident in our ability to provide results that we have a very, very simple guarantee. We either bring you 3 new clients within 90 days, or you get a full refund. Simple, clear, concise. It's like that for a reason. We have never, ever, ever had a client come back to us with this guarantee, say, hey, you didn't deliver, give us our money back. Usually we over-deliver. We over-deliver for our clients because we have a reputation to maintain. We don't like being known as the guys who promise A and instead deliver B. We are so confident that we are willing to give you back the money that you pay us if we do not deliver. Even if we're this close to delivering, we will give you back all the money, because this is our guarantee, this is our word. And what good is a man who doesn't have a word? So, if you want to get in touch with us, you can come to our website. I'll link our website somewhere here. If you come here, you'll be greeted by this page. Receive a free marketing analysis. All you need to do is just fill in these contact details. So your name, your email, your company name, your phone number, your website, your most important question, how did you find us, and how much are you spending on advertising right now per month. Consent, and then submit. The second you do that, either I or someone from our team will be in contact with you within 24 hours, and I will personally come along and I will tell you, hey, this is what I think that you're doing wrong, this is what I would do, and we will have a full-on conversation where we talk about how we can take your HVAC business to the next level. So If that sounds interesting to you, then make sure that you click on that link that's somewhere around here. And that's all for today.